welcome to Visual Audio Sessions. I'm your host, Aaron Dick, and this is Vice Versa. All right, guys, good job. So tell me a little bit about yourself. Some details we know. Obviously, 5-piece rock band, formed in 2013, 7 years strong. Isaac on the drums, CJ on the bass, Justin on guitar, Eric on the vocals, and Mo on guitar as well. Some of the influences you guys listed, we hear some Incubus, Tool. The one that intrigued me the most, I think, was Grateful Dead, because it's kind of outside of there. But then I see Justin walk in with the shirt, and it's like, well, obviously we know where that influence came from. Justin, tell me a little bit about that. I mean, how do you think that influenced you?
I mean, I have an uncle named Jerry Garcia, so I think that kind of fit in quite well. When I first got turned on to the Dead, it was through him, and I mean, it's just kind of influenced I have like a bluegrass kind of blues background, so I try to implement that into this band. I always wanted to be in a rock band and had the opportunity to express that side.
And a great guitar playing in that band, so
yes.
Obviously I think that's probably where that kind of pushed you that direction. The music and what you produce is tight, it's solid. It's some of the best stuff that can come out of any local scene that you could possibly ask for. I think you obviously, and I say this in all honesty, you really do represent one of the great niches of what the Lubbock music scene is. We have great rock music, we have great country music, we have great hip hop. I mean, there's just even EDM. I mean, we got all kinds of stuff coming out of the scene. Obviously, what we're trying to do is to spread the word on that. So, we're really glad to have you guys here, representing what we're doing, but also representing what Lubbock is. So, how do you, how has living? Because you all were raised in Lubbock, right? Growing up here, so truly local. How do you think that has had an impact on what you guys do musically? I mean, knowing the lineage of what Lubbock has brought to the world musically. Has it had any impact?
That's a good question.
That is a good question. I wasn't prepared for that. Man, we've been in so many bands growing up in Lubbock. We've dealt with so many different personalities, and I think there's a lot of great musicians here in Lubbock that are just, they don't get the recognition they deserve. And for them to get out there and to just do their thing, it's commendable that they don't. A lot of the musicians here in Lubbock, they don't give up, and so I've seen, since I was a child, I've seen older musicians like John Sprock, and he's still out there gigging, and I'm just like, man, he's like 60 and he's still rocking. And
yeah.
I feel like it keeps you young. It gives you a reason to live for, and music. A lot of people that are in Lubbock, they have a lot of passion, a lot of heart, and it shows. I mean, we may not be a popular city amongst this country, or this state, but it's definitely it's got its gems within this city.
Cool. Speaking of Lubbock, outside of music, what are some of your favorite things about being here?
Like for me, when I went to Tech, I watched sports, but I never watched collegiate sports, and so like going to Tech, I was going to the games, basketball when we were not so good as we are now, the football teams. Like for me, I really got to experience the whole air raid and Mike Leach area, going to Tech, and I was really glad to be a part of that, especially when they beat Texas and I get to storm the field and do all that crazy stuff. But that's what I like around here is the campus, the food, going back to the food, and then I still try to stay in the music scene and try to go to shows every now and then, because I know what it was like as a kid, going down the streets of Tokyo Joe's and catching bands there, and then you can still see, like Eric said, musicians from other bands. Now they're in other bands, or they're just plug and play.
Yeah.
There's so many good musicians here.
It's a small town for sure, and so you see a lot of people doing side gigs and stuff. Some of y'all I know are doing some side stuff, like you're in Colors with Michael Lambert, who's our director and creator here. Who else? There's someone else that has another. Justin, is that you?
Yes, I have a couple of buddies I grew up with. We've jammed since we were 13, 14 years old. Original stuff out there. Hopefully we'll, put it into a studio soon and get that out to the audience.
Yeah, and I think that's one thing I love about Lubbock music, and kind of why I once I started getting into it, really embraced it, and why this project to me means so much is because I see that same thing. I see a bunch of guys all around doing musically doing different things, you see a huge kaleidoscope of just sound and music. So that's why I think, what it's important to us, obviously, to do this. And that's great to hear. You guys are doing other things outside of what you're doing here too. Just keep that going. So in the writing process, when you talk about that, and talking about your influences, I guess, is it, you said that it's mostly the band who is kind of forms a, someone brings in a riff or whatever, and you kind of shape everything around that. Is it like a start to finish? We got our start, we got our intro, we got our verses, chorus, everything musically, and then you come in and write the lyrics over top of that? There's other lyric writers in the band?
I'm not the only guy that writes the lyrics. Justin, he's given me ideas of like poetry he's written, and then I'll come and he's like, here, take this idea. He texts it to me, and try it on this song. And whenever I usually put my own spin on it, I remember Justin on hypnosis. He told me, he was like, man, you totally went in a different direction, but I like the way it turned out. And so there's not a really specific format that we follow. Usually,
as far as like structure goes, we still try to keep a structure because me and him are pretty bad about going what you call.
We call it story mode, where there is no structure and it's just like a straight jam. And we tried to get away from that. Actually, when we got this band together, and we find ourselves going into story mode, we'll pull it back and we'll try to structure it. And sometimes we'll knock out songs like that, practice, and when we knock it out, we call it, we vice versa it. It's there, everything's done.
Still fine tuning and stuff, but yeah, we can just a simple riff and just one practice just knock out a whole song. It just works out sometimes like that.
So new album coming out 2020. Musically is done. We're just putting some lyrics together. So hopefully maybe mid-year, thinking maybe summertime.
Yeah, this year for sure. I know we're going to play live for you guys 2 songs. One we already did and then one here in a little bit. But they are out there right now as singles. If you guys want to go in and listen to them, but we'll have the whole album out hopefully pretty soon.
Click the link right there.
or here. We don't know yet. Well, guys, it's awesome that you guys are our first group. You guys are tight. You're solid. We really appreciate you guys being here. You're watching Visual Audio Sessions, once again, vice versa.